Welcome, welcome, welcome. And super excited that you're here. It took me a moment there. I was like, should I go into what you're going to get today, or should I just go into, hey, how are you? Yeah, I finally found my rhythm a little bit, or sometimes I think I found my rhythm with this live thing again. And then something happens, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I haven't. So, welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about all the latest news over the course of the last week as it relates to AI, and specifically how it matters or potentially could matter to us as online marketers. I do a weekly newsletter. I've started doing them live so that we get more bang for the content, so more people have an opportunity to see it. So today we're going to be going over 3 top news stories that have happened over the course of this last week. Some of the news is all of the news is relevant, I think. Some of it is you can go check out. Some of it is going to be available to you right away, and then some of it is still coming. So just so you know what to expect. Um, the other things that I'm going to go over today is every week I do a custom marketing prompt of the week, and those are handcrafted by me with a specific outcome. So today's is going to be about creating a workshop that wows your audience, a prompt that's specifically geared to that. And we also do every week I do a review of 3 tools. We're going to do those live today. And then I do a visual image prompt as well. And this specifically is about engagement this week. So I'm excited to share all the goodies with you today. And as your guests are coming in, give me a shout out. Where in the world are you? So let me get my screens all tidied up. So let me get over here, and I think we're good. So what we'll do first is just a couple of like little housekeeping things. If you are like me and you like to kind of follow along and see what's next, or potentially be able to do the marketing prompts and things like that in real time as we're going over them, then I would invite you to take a look at our free community, which is where one of the places that the newsletter is available in written format. So you can go to kimgarst.com/community. It is a free community. It doesn't cost you anything to join. You can get in there, and let me pull my screen up and I'll show you the goodies here. So if you get in, you'll notice there's the communities over here, which has got all the back and forth conversations. The classroom is where the newsletter is. You can open that up and you can see that not only do we have today's newsletter, today's newsletter, but all of the previous newsletters are in here as well. So we're up to 35 issues. Now, the news obviously has shifted from week to week. This space is like crazy. It's happening so quickly that it's very hard to stay on top of it. So if you were to go back to issue 1, for example, then potentially the news there would be old, right? But there's still lots of gold in these newsletters. There's marketing prompts in there. There is, and that's the visual image prompts. There is also the tools that I've spent a lot of time going through and finding out what's the top tools. So there's a lot of gold to go back through if you have the time and energy and want to. But like I say, we're going to focus today on this week's news. So definitely go check it out. The newsletter is also over on LinkedIn. You can find it there as well. So first thing I wanted to go into was to kind of focus in on, is the wearables for you or not? Now, the wearables are basically AI devices that you can, wear essentially. And they've been getting a lot of buzz lately. And so I thought I would take the time to, see what's out there. There's only 2 really at this point in time, or 2 forerunners anyway. Rabbit is one, and the Humane AI pen. So I'm going to take a deep dive into those a little bit more than I even did inside of the newsletter, so that you can decide, should you get one of these for yourself? That's really the key here. Should you get one for yourself? So let's take a peek. Rabbit is a little and I'm going to show you a video I found over on YouTube in just a moment of someone holding it so you can kind of get a visual of it. But it's essentially, looks like it's about this big, and it is $199. There is no subscription fee. So this one is attractive to its or more attractive as it relates to their competitor than I would say, just based off of price. But we're gonna dig into this a little bit more in just a sec. So $199, no monthly subscription. And let's hear what Matthew Berman, who is really big into the tech, more the techie side of AI. So let me share this with you real quick. So that kind of gives you a feel, if you will, of what that specific or the rabbit pen looks like. Not only what it looks like, but how fast it interacts and engages with you. And he goes on to talk about some other use cases. This video I found is a sponsored post, so of course he was highlighting all of the positives that are associated with this particular AI wearable device. Now, the other one I want to share with you is the Humane AI pen. So let's take a look at this one. So it's got several variations. It comes in red, white, and a combination of the black and silver, it looks like. But look at the difference, like $6.99, $7.99, and there is a subscription fee. So not only do you have to pay for the actual device, which attaches to your chest essentially, but you also have to pay $24 a month for a subscription fee. So price alone, right? I mean, it makes sense to buy the rabbit over this one again at face value, just off of price alone. But let me show you another video that I found that I thought was really interesting. And this is not, I found several like this of people who had done reviews for this particular product, and it wasn't super positive. So as you can see, this is kind of cool because it has a little light and it shines the results on your palm of your hand. That at face value, that's magic, right? Like that's pretty cool. But let's see what this guy has to say about this particular device. Oh, let me play it. There we go. No sound on the video? All right, guys. So I guess that doesn't help us much if there's no sound on the video. So my apologies for that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I think we had that problem last week and I forgot to deal with it. So let me just share real quick. You've been able to see the visual of it, right? So I think the nice piece about this now, just showcasing the two wearables side by side, price alone, rabbit wins out. There's still some big, I would say, based on other people's reviews of this, there's still some holes in both of these. There's still like this. Sometimes they get overheated. There's still some issues. So for me, I'll just give you my 2 cents, and you can do whatever makes sense for you. I have decided not to invest in one of these yet. I feel like it's just kind of like, like Apple's earpods, like there's generational things that every time there's new ones that come out and the new ones are always better. I feel like we should probably wait until maybe the next generation of these comes out before we invest in them, especially the one that is, $700. That's kind of on this highest side of this equation. But essentially what these these wearables could potentially do, just again looking forward from a futuristic perspective, is the ability to learn and absorb content, or even potentially create content from any place that you are. So when Michael was talking about, how his son, who is not old enough really to Google, is using it by simply tapping the button and being able to see or learn essentially about all his Pokemon friends, what they do and all the things. That is, again, that's a very rudimentary example, but the reality of it is that we could, utilize these resources, these pens or these devices on the go, anywhere we are, to consistently do whatever it is that we want to do. And it is much faster. It's up to date. So the information, like if I was to, ask it, hey, the Lightning played night before last or whenever they played and lost, dang it. It would give me up-to-date information on that. So they have relevant, up-to-date information. And that, I think that again is another huge win. Plus in the column, plus in that side of the pro column anyway. So that's a few things that I could think of. Now, another example that that Michael was using for the Rabbit pen was that you can record meetings with it. So he's been recording his in-person meetings. You go back to the Rabbit Cloud and you can download those meetings. It gives you a summary. I'm currently using another tool for that, but it is really smart to do this, because for me, using those transcripts for the calls that I have been able to provide me the ability to quickly follow up without me having to take notes. And so I think there's a lot of application for these in the future, but I don't think they're quite there yet. I think we should probably wait and invest, unless you're just like, well, some of us, I do get the latest and greatest iPhone pretty much as soon as it comes out. Sorry, I do that, but I can't quite get there yet on these. So again, just my 2 cents there. Okay, so that is the wearable pen story, is like, do you need one or not? And I'm just curious, what do you guys think? Do you feel like you need to get yourself one? All right. I'm just seeing if there's any comments to see if anybody is ready to get one, or do you have one? I mean, that would be another really great thing to know. I'd love your perspective if you do have one. Okay, the second news story is, there's been a lot of talk about Apple. Apple is a big player, by anybody's measuring stick, and yet they haven't really gotten too awful involved. They haven't been a big name in the AI space, right? So they are slowly but surely dipping their toe in. There's been several integrations with AI already, but they're currently in talks again with OpenAI, which is, the ChatGPT, collaboration, I guess, if you would, or the ChatGPT is what a lot of us are using, but again, it's built off of the OpenAI infrastructure. So Apple and OpenAI are in talks to add the ability to use, potentially, quote unquote, the framework there within the new Apple update. So Apple, I guess, got a new update coming, 18. What is this going to look like for us? My 2 cents, I'm like, can you imagine if Siri was actually connected to the OpenAI framework? Then we could get relevant information more succinctly, right? And it could be tied to that. Where will this go? What kind of features? They've been pretty, mom's the word. So there's not a whole lot of information yet. But the reason I'm sharing it with you is because I think this could be a really big thing if it comes to fruition. If Apple and OpenAI do collaborate and come up with something cool, then we're going to see this integration roll out for those of us who are using iPhones. So just wanted to give you a heads up, keep your eyes open for that. The next thing I want to share with you guys is, and I think this is going to be really big, is the fact that ChatGPT has created or now has memory, not created. Now, I do not currently have this feature. So it's being rolled out to Plus users only. So you do not get this feature if you do not have a Plus account, which means you have to pay the $20 a month in order to have access to this feature. But if you were to have it, let me just share my screen real quick. You would go down to the corner here, go to your settings, and this is how you would see if you had it or not. As you can see, I don't currently have it, but let me show you a screen of this would be going back to, this is in the newsletter. It's a way to keep the conversation going, keep things more helpful over time, manage what it remembers. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what I know, even though I don't currently have access to the feature yet. The nice thing about it is that you can turn it on and off. So, that's cool. It manages memory. So it's going to remember things. It's going to update details based on the input that you give it. That's been a little bit iffy over time. I mean, one of the things I've taught ever since I've been using AI is to train ChatGPT in a brand chat thread so that it has all of your information. But the nice thing about this is that you can train it and it would roll across all of your chat threads if you so wanted to do that, right? Which would be very cool. Now, again, I'm trying to keep my an open mind because I can't see it and play with it yet. So, but I think it would be really cool for a couple of things. So, one, like next level customer service. I mean, if you could have a integration with your information where you can manage your customers' last conversations, or they could see all of that, their shopping preferences. If you have, like, if you're an e-com store, for example, or even if you're not, I mean, having the conversation flow in ChatGPT, knowing what that customer has said previously could be really big, and just tracking that information flow. It would also learn that customer's preferences and things of that nature. And I think that could be, again, very, very big. Content creation, oh my gosh, right? If you could recall, if you could have ChatGPT, learn and understand the topics that your customers or your audience loves the most, then it could really help you fine tune your strategy and your content that you put out into the world. It would be big, right? And then, campaign management. I mean, that is so big. Like when we're trying to create any type of campaign, and if you have multiple campaigns, this is a whole other layer. It would remember things, audience responses, all kinds of things that I think would be fabulous. And the nice thing too, I've seen from other people's demos that have it, is like if you wanted to forget something that's no longer relevant, you just go into the settings and you can see all the things that it's memorized, and you can just delete the things that are no longer relevant. Again, huge. So I think this could be really big. I'm not quite sold yet because I don't have it. I haven't been able to see it yet, but I think this could be really, really amazing. So just giving y'all a heads up and I would go check. If you have a Plus account, go check to see if you have it. My understanding is when you first log in and it's rolled out to your account, it will tell you that it's a new feature. That's what usually happens when I get a new feature. But like I say, I don't currently have this feature yet. I'm like, come on, ChatGPT, give me. But I'm sure within a few days I'll have it. So it's just what it is at this point. Okay. So who's ready to create a little magic with ChatGPT? We're going to use ChatGPT for this. I'm going to share my screen with you again. Let me get it pulled up here. So I got to thinking about this because we do monthly workshops for my AI Authority insiders. It's a membership. It's a monthly membership where you get access to an AI workshop a month and some other spiffy things. But we also sell the workshops one-off. So in fact, if you're interested in this particular workshop, I'm going to tell you what it is in just a minute. And hopefully that will be something. It's going to be how to create realistic AI photos of yourself. I've been doing this for a while now, and I kind of feel like I've got the tools kind of weeded out and which ones work, which ones don't. And I'm going to do a training on this. So if you're interested in that, we'll drop in the link. In fact, the link for that is kimgirsch.com/AI workshop 10. But again, that's just if you're interested. Now, basically, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, most of us, if we're in the education space, we have an expertise. We either do webinars or workshops or something. And, maybe sometimes you do them and you don't necessarily get paid for them. So I'm like, okay, how can we reposition that? And I built this initially for myself, but then I fleshed it out, and I think it's going to be helpful for you. So as a curriculum design expert, your task is to develop a comprehensive workshop for name of your, whatever your, if you wanted to use this for yourself, whatever the name of your workshop is, goes here, right? And tailored to whoever your audience is. And then the workshop should serve as a foundational resource for individuals seeking to excel in, how to create realistic photos of yourself, providing a well-rounded and easily accessible, blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. I ask it to create engaging titles and descriptions to give me some options. So give me 5 options. Give me the curriculum outline so that I can see what it's going to look like. Propose practical methods to integrate technology, feedback and adaptation, emphasize creation of captivating, informative titles, yada, yada. So basically, I wanted to come out on the other side of this with the most important things that I needed on the front side for marketing it and starting to create the content. One, title, description, right? So let's just see what happens when we do this. Feel free to use this yourself. Feel free to, in fact, that's what it's there for. And now it gives me the title, the description. It's actually, because I ask it to do so, it's given me different titles and descriptions, right? So capture yourself, crafting lifelike AI avatars for marketing and success, description, title, digital doubles, from pixels to persona, AI mirror reflecting your best self in virtual images, the future of face value. I think I like my title better so far. So, but now it gives me my outline. So I've got an outline of my workshop. And yep, participants create AI versions of themselves, group critique and feedback sessions. So now I have that whole thing laid out for me, and I'm ready to market this thing. Pretty cool, right? So like I say, feel free to leverage this yourself. That prompt is inside of the newsletter. So all you have to do is copy and paste it, insert your information, specific workshop titles, your audience, etc. Okay. So that's the marketing prompt of the week. Now we've also highlighted the workshop that we're doing. So you can kind of get a feel for what is in it. And how to sign up for it if you're interested. Now, let's go into the weekly tools of the week. Now, let me stop for a second and just make sure that we don't have any questions. All right. So if you have any questions as we're going along, please feel free. I forgot to say this on the front side. Feel free to ask them as we go. I do have a team member, Rhonda, she's amazing. She wears so many hats around here, but she does kind of get stuck with the lives because she's on my time zone. Love her heart. So we are going to jump into the weekly tools. I have 3 tools that I want to share with you this week. Now, the first one is a tool called b12.io. And this tool I came by through a recommendation. So I was like, well, if somebody recommends it to me, maybe I should check it out. So that's how I first came by this. Normally I do tool reviews when AI first started like really blowing up, I was probably reviewing 10, 15 tools a day. Now I'm a lot more selective with my tool process and finding good tools, because a lot of the tools do the same thing. And you're going to find that some of the tools that I review on the weekly, they have crossover. Some tools are going to do similar things to tools I've recommended before. That is absolutely going to happen. But what's fascinating about the tool space is sometimes they evolve, they get better, and there's other tools that do things that the tools that I shared previously might not do. So I do look at them, and now we're actually, a couple of these tools we're going to do kind of test them out a little bit, specifically this B12 tool, because the fame to claim, it's claim to fame. There you go. I said that backwards. Is that you can create a custom website with it, and I think that's very intriguing. Most of the ones that I've tried so far have been mediocre at best. So let's see what this one does. So I'm going to pull up the website so you guys can take a peek at it real quick. All right. So it's, again, it's promised on its website is grow your business with a professional AI website. You can start for free. It doesn't require a credit card. So I have literally, I have not tested this myself yet. So what we're doing, I'm doing this live with you. So let's just take a peek. I'm signing up, and I'm like, I haven't developed a website for the newsletter yet. So let's see what happens. So I've got the AI Marketing Insider newsletter in here, and then I've got get the latest scoop on key developments, kind of, so like a little bit of a description here. And I'm going to hit the continue button and see what happens. You're on a roll, which is the best category for your business? Let's see, probably this. And we'll see what happens here. All right. First name. And we're going to just type in a couple of things here and see what happens. Constructing it. We're already getting constructing here. All right. Let's see what happens. All right. So AI Marketing Insider, unlock the power of AI in marketing. View services. Your trusted AI. Well, guys, what? Okay, it's still building. So let's just give it a minute. All right. So it's got all the things. I guess these are services. Feel free to contact us. I don't know. I mean, it's not too bad. I think with some editing, and it gives me, yes, I like it. I like it. Let me personalize it. I don't like it. Let's change it. So the point is, I could literally have a website. How long did this take? Seconds? I'm like, this could be good. I mean, I would still come in here and edit some stuff, but I don't know. It's kind of good. I'm not disliking this, right? That's pretty amazing. So I would definitely check out. Let me put it on the screen for you so you can go check it out. This is an affiliate link. I always try to disclose that. Feel free to go check it out, kimgurst.com /B12 and test it out. This was free. Obviously, if you wanted to pay for it, let's go take a look at the pricing. So basic is $42 a month. Save $84 with a 1 year, $84 with a 1 year subscription. I mean, it gets pretty pricey on up if you have, I guess, multiple users, but as a single end user, it's not too awful bad. So just thought I would share this tool with you, and you can decide if it makes sense for you. All right. So the next tool I wanted to talk to you about is a tool called easypeasy.ai, and I'll put that on the screen as well. So Easy Peasy is one of these resources, and I am actually looking into this myself. The reason I haven't done what I would call an all-in-one resource is because I use AI so heavily that I was worried that I would hit their limits, and I would be like, okay, well, that's not going to work for me. So that's one of the reasons I haven't dug into it and tried to find, well, let me explain what I mean by that. Easy peasy is what I would call an all-in-one resource. So what I mean by that is it does images, it does all the things. In fact, let's take a look at all the things it does. So it'll do AI text to speech. It does, like I said, images. It does transcription, bots, one-click article generation, brand voices, dynamic templates, blog post workflows. It's basically got all these, I call them GPTs. So they're customized bots that do specific things. And not only that, but it has this particular one is pretty cheap. So like if you take a peek at the unlimited, for example, which would be what I would want, it's $16.50 a month, which is not bad, because if you think about it, I'll just tell you some of the things I'm paying for. I'm paying, 20 some dollars a month for my chat GPT. I'm paying $20 for Claude. I'm not, most of the others I'm just using for free. So the point is that, if I had access to chat GPT and Claude inside of this tool, then it would make sense for me I would save roughly $25 if I did that, right? Which would be a good deal. So this could be something you might want to consider, because it does have a lot of integrations with existing tools, and you can use it for one price. Plus, it gives you the ability to do all these things. Now, that said, I have not tested any of these individual components yet. So let's just pick one and see. Headline generator. Topic, example, the website. Let's just say AI marketing, since we're using my stuff, insider newsletter. That's the topic, right? So I want it to be catchy, transformational for sure. All right. And let's just see what it does. All right. So, the ultimate guide to boosting your sales with AI marketing, the ultimate step-by-step tutorial. These are some really good things. I mean, there's some good stuff here that I might not necessarily use as on a website for a headline, but I could use it for so many other things. I mean, these are amazing titles for blog posts. Obviously to 2022, we'd want to change that to 2024, but the point is these are not bad. So again, you might want to check this tool out, especially if you're using tools, multiple tools, paying multiple fees on the monthly. This might be a really good resource for you. Okay. So just pulling that in so you have a chance to take a peek at it. So that was easy peasy, kimgross.com/easy peasy. Now, the last tool that I wanted to share with you is a tool called Moon Valley. So I'm going to pull that up on the screen too, kimgross.com/Moon Valley. Moon Valley is basically, for some of you, I'm not sure it's going to be super beneficial for you, but I think for anybody that's looking to create eye-catching visual content, specifically video content, because it is a video tool, then I think Moon Valley might really intrigue you. So let me share my screen with you again. So let's take a peek at this. So if you can see on the screen, a couple things that you need to know. It is a Discord tool, just like Midjourney is. So you do have to have a free Discord account. You don't have to pay for Discord. And then you just would come here and join our Discord, and it'll open up inside of Discord. So let's take a peek, though, at some of the imagery or some of the video content that's been created with this little tool. So here's this one, which is pretty cool. In fact, I'm just going to copy this because let's see I think what I did when I tried to do this a minute ago is I have to pay for the tool before I can use it. That's another problem, but it's a very cheap tool. So let's just take a look at some of the imagery. Think about it. Like if you wanted to create imagery for your social post, I think this could be a really great little resource for you. So I'm going to go over to Discord. I've already added it to my Discord. If I can get it to pop up here, for some reason, it's just spinning. It's thinking. All right, here it is. So, and very similar to Midjourney, if you've used Midjourney, they do have these creator channels inside of Discord, where you can go and literally all you have to do is, instead of imagine like it is with Midjourney, you have to do /create. And if I was to pop in that, same, tiger front facing, whatever, and hit the enter button, it'll start giving me other options like comic book. I want it to be short, image. If I wanted to, put an image in here to do that. In this particular case, I don't think I want to do that. So when I hit the enter button, oh, it's not letting me go back. Camera. Anyway, the point is you can do all kinds of options here. When I was trying to do this before, and we're going to go in and take a peek at some of the other content that's being created in here, just so you can see. So here's one. This particular prompt is, up here. You can see other people's prompts, so you can borrow them and create your own. But this particular one is about a people in a boat. As you can see, I think sometimes when it's people, it's a little more complex. Let's take a look at this one. Is just boats zooming around. So point is, I would play with it if it makes sense and you feel like it's something you would use. This is the key though, and I found this out when I was trying to use it before. You do have to pay. The awesome part about it is it's not very expensive. So it's $7 a month. So if you feel like there's something that you want to test and try out, I would definitely give it a go and, pay the $7, cancel at any time. There's no fees associated. No cancellation. You're not fees. You're not locked into something, for a long period of time. So those are all of the tools that I wanted to run over with you for this week's newsletter. Now, every week we do a funny, that's what I call them, something that you can share, and feel free to share this. That's what it's there for. For some of you, you may not, it may not suit your audience, but if this is relevant or it's relatable to you, feel free to share it. I create these every month with the intention of you being able to take them and put them out into your audience if you want to. But for me, this definitely resonates. When the analytics report makes about as much sense as a toddler's crayon drawing. When I see a bunch of numbers on an Excel spreadsheet, my eyes cross. So feel free to use it if it makes sense. And then lastly, this is the last thing in the newsletter, which is our visual image prompt. And this specific prompt is all about getting engagement on your socials, guys. So the intention is to create an image that is going to encourage your audience to do this. Snap a photo of your morning coffee in a unique spot, tag us, yada, yada, right? So if you take this prompt and you can put it into Midjourney, I wouldn't recommend Midjourney. Midjourney doesn't do super good with text. I would probably put this into ChatGPT, or I would put it into, in fact, let's just do that. I actually created this image that you saw in the newsletter, which is this one. I created this in Ideogram, and I'll open that up and show you that too in just a second. But let's go ahead and go back to ChatGPT. And this is my image folder here. I'm just going to make it square, and let's see what happens. It'll take it a minute for it to create for us, but I am using the Dolly GPT. So if you are wanting to create images within ChatGPT, you can go to Explore GPTs and find the Dolly GPT. The reason I use the Dolly GPT versus just the plain ChatGPT thread or option is because the Dolly 3 GPT gives us 2 options of every image. And if you just go to the plain ChatGPT option, you're only going to get 1 image when you put your image in. So let's see how close it comes, and then I'll show you guys Ideogram in just a second. I found that sometimes with text, sometimes you strike it lucky, and most of the time you don't. Sometimes, one word will be spelled incorrectly. I showed a quick little strategy last week using Canva um, to fix text if that's the problem. Um, but sometimes it's just iterations over and over again. So it does take a few minutes. While it's doing that, I'll pull up ideogram and show you guys. So like, let me pull up some of my, like, I'll show you how many times I had to mess with this. As you can see, I've got multiple versions of this that I was working on until I got one that worked. But I'm just going to pop in the same prompt, and I'm going to do the square version. I'm going to do generate, and we'll just do a comparison real quick. So this one's still trying to create. So let's just move this over here. And one of the things that I've noticed that ChatGPT has gotten slower and slower with the image creation. So here is over at ideogram, it's almost ready. And now I have, some different variations of this. Snap a photo of your morning coffee. As you can see, coffee is not spelled correctly here. So sometimes you don't get exactly what you're looking for. So you just have to keep playing with it until it gives you an output. But this is a really clever, and feel free, you don't even have to create this if you don't want to create something unique. Feel free to use mine. I mean, if you want to use it, just right click on it, save it, and you're welcome to use mine. All right, let's see what ChatGPT has come up with. Let me hit the refresh button. Maybe it's just gotten stuck. Sometimes that happens. So, all right. Yes, I love it. So Julia saying Dolly is on a break. Yeah. We're giving it a sec. But one thing I did recently, Ideogram is a great little resource I think it's probably the best one for text if you're trying to do text content. So let me share a couple of things that I've been able to create that's text related. I've been taking a lot of my viral content and going back and making it turning it into like freshening it up. That's maybe the best way. So here's a few of the ones that I have created. So every time you feel yourself being pulled into other people's nonsense, worrying is like a debt you don't owe. As you can see, though, the B should be a D. So there's sometimes it's amazing. It does great work. Sometimes you have to, again, iterate it several times before you get a great output. But they just recently added a paid plan so if you go to kimgarst.com/ideogram, you can check that out. Feel free to, like, golly, this thing is just like, I think ChatGPT as a whole is gone on break today. We'll give it a sec here. All right, come on. It's still creating. Nope. Here we go. Maybe. All right, here we go. Now, one thing I would suggest too is feel free to leverage these prompts in any way that makes sense. So, morning coffee views, snap a photo of them. Again, you can see that the text is not quite correct. So the point is, feel free. Like I said, I used you can ask it to do it again because the text isn't spelled correctly, or you could take it into take it into Canva and use the little tool, the little trick and tip that I shared last week. If you remember it, if you don't, reach out and I can always do a quick review for you. So that, I think, is all that I wanted to share from this week's newsletter. Let me make sure I got everything. Don't forget, please, if you're interested at all, don't hesitate to join us over at the community. You'll get access to, not only do you get access to all the previous newsletters, but there's a lot of really cool free content in there that you can have immediate access to as well. And you have a nice place to hang out with people who are forward thinking, who are, trying to learn about this AI stuff and figure out how it matters to them. So ask questions, jump in. We love having new people. So don't hesitate to come on over and join us. And let's see, any questions that we didn't get answered. So Marcy is said something about Claude. Claude, I think Claude has surpassed ChatGPT in some ways. So it's got a lot more umph to it now. I think it's better at conversational style content than ChatGPT. But I think, well, I still use both. So I would definitely check both out if you haven't. And let's see what else. Uh, Anything that I didn't catch. Yeah, same Nancy. Nancy is saying I like Claude a lot. I use it a lot for, I'll just give you a couple of examples of things that I use it for. When I do sales calls, I have those calls recorded using an AI tool called Fathom. And so we just connect it to our Zoom. And so when we do those sales calls, I am able to download that transcript. I pop it into ChatGPT. I'm sorry, I pop it into Claude, and I tell it, based on this sales script, can you write a follow-up email? Make sure you key in on the things that they want, present, our solution as a path to getting what they want. And, it's a great way for me to immediately follow up. I don't have to take notes anymore. And because I create a thread inside of Claude for every one of those sales calls, I'm able to go back and, if they come back and ask a question, or if they don't respond, I can follow up with them again in, 3 or 4 days. So I have what's the word? I have some context. There you are. Context for the conversation flow, and it just does a really good job of mimicking, I think, my voice and things like that. So I don't have to stress over what to say so much. The note taker for Zoom that I use is called Fathom. There's several of them out there, though, Karen. In fact, I think ChatGPT, I'm sorry, dang it, I keep saying ChatGPT. I think Zoom even has a feature similar to this now. I just haven't taken the time to figure it out because I was using Fathom already. Fathom is free. They do have a paid version, but I'm still using the free piece, package, whatever, option. There you go. And thank you. So it is kimgarst.com/Fathom. Oh, perfect. So Nancy is now, see, I didn't know this. Thank you for sharing this, Nancy. So Nancy says you can access Fathom right inside of Zoom now. Yes, actually, I knew that because you can access any tool that integrates with Zoom within their app platform. I believe that's, yeah, I just hadn't thought of that. Yeah, so good. Thanks for sharing that, Nancy. All right. Any other questions? Any other thing I can share or help you guys with as it relates to AI? Please feel free, like I said before, come on, join the community, get in there. You can ask questions whenever you need to. We are doing a lot of cool things with AI. In fact, I can't even imagine. I don't even like to go back to thinking about how we did without AI before, because it's just like, it's like our sidekick on the daily today. Yeah, thanks. So Nancy's being a fount of information today. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for joining us live. I hope you got some value from today's AI Marketing Insider Scoop. We'll be doing these every Wednesday because we publish the newsletter usually every Wednesday. Sometimes we, get a day behind, but for the most part, we're usually every Wednesday we publish. So, all right. Well, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and God bless. And I will see you soon.